What's up there, everybody? Well, I was just doing some thinking. Go figure. And I wanted to just posit the idea to not take life too seriously. I mean, it's something I've tried to do my entire life. Whenever I find myself getting too serious about something, I have to step back and laugh at myself. And if you can't laugh at yourself, then you are too serious. And this is just my opinion, and of course coming from my own beliefs, but I think that people who take life too seriously, the people that I've encountered, do it often for one of two reasons. Either A, they are completely insecure in who they are, or B, they are insecure in where they are. And I guess I'll expound on that a little bit. The people who are afraid of who they are the ones who think that if they make any mistake or make any wrong step or act a fool or go out and go blah, 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 that they're going to be looked upon as the lunatic. And I've heard many great quotes from philosophers that say something like, you know, there's nothing more insane or nobody who's more of a lunatic than the person who can never laugh or take themselves seriously. But there's a fine line that you cross where you laugh about everything and you aren't serious enough. But each individual has to find that for themselves. It's a subjective thing. There are a lot of class clowns out there who eventually become more serious in their lives, and a lot of people who are the kind of people, like an article I read the other day from this lady who said that there was a picture in her yearbook of some girl who was sitting in a recycling can with some weird look on her face. And she said, but that wasn't me. I was the girl in the background with the books in my hand who was looking at them saying, with a serious scowl, saying, you should be taking your education seriously. And I guess what inspired me to make this is not just people. If adults want to take life seriously, that's their choice. When kids take it, it's usually because they see adults take it too seriously. And when you're a teenager, you should be having fun. You should be enjoying your life. You should not be worrying about what career you're going to have or who you're going to be in 20 years. It's an absolute bunch of bullshit. But before I go on to that, I'd like to say, back to the two things. The people who are afraid of themselves, which could be you don't feel like you're good enough, your ego isn't good enough, and therefore you take yourself too seriously. So you assume that you're going to be taken seriously by others. And the other type are the ones who are afraid of where they are, as I said. They are, I don't mean your location or being afraid of living in a city or in the country or a specific place. I'm talking about where you are in here, where you are in your head, and where you are in your thoughts about what life means. Some people who take life too seriously, where they are is they believe that there's a place called hell. There are honestly millions of people, perhaps billions, don't really care how many people there are who believe that there's an eternity of hellfire after they die if they don't do every instruction right. But it's an important factor, because a lot of people believe in hell, which is a completely absurd notion to me. I mean, I've had plenty of people, and I'm sure somebody is already on their keyboard right now leaving a comment about, you'll see, when you die, you'll see, you'll be set before judgment. So be it. In this life, I'm going to live this life. If I take myself so seriously that I can't even say a bad word or do anything that might offend your particular book because I might go to hell for eternity is preposterous. So that's what I mean by being afraid of where you are. They're afraid that this life has to be taken seriously. And then there are other people who don't take anything seriously, and that has to be addressed. And that's a problem too. It's the opposite end of the spectrum. You can't lean in one direction too far, or you fall over. And when people take, you know, everything too seriously, then it just stresses you out. It makes you upset with the world. It makes you anxious. It makes you lash out at others, I guess, or at least a lot of people. I've always enjoyed having a good time. I like going to shows, concerts, festivals, doing whatever I can, going camping with my family, playing games when I can. But I have a lot of serious moments. There's a lot of shit going on right now with, you know, employment or me making money or my situation with the COVID and my wife working or the situation with the whole world basically seeming to fall apart and seeing no future. The kids who are left with, you know, piles of debt, and then we see on the media that they're complaining, oh, the poor colleges can't survive. You know, we're living in an absurd world. And if you're not frustrated, if you're not angry, if you're not taking it seriously to some extent, then you might have no heart or no brain. Because everybody has to be part of their society and put forth a little bit of effort and, I don't know, contribute. This is something I talked about the other day that was really, I've been thinking about a lot lately, that I wanted to make a video about, but I never really addressed, which was how much do we contribute to our world and how much should we care? Because if you care too much about everything around you, if you get angry about politics to where you're actually red in the face and frustrated about your presidential candidate, you really, really should step back for a minute and look at the bigger picture. Now, but if you feel a little bit of angst or frustration or anxiety, then that's natural. But you can't take it out on the world because you're mad about something and put it on others, put it into politics. In other words, there's always a scapegoat for our own frustrations. And there are people out there who want to blame either politicians for all their problems, or their parents for all their problems, science or religion or whatever it might be. But really, these are all just people. We're all people out here trying to live together, doing the best we can to accommodate each other, to accommodate ourselves, and to survive through this crazy thing we call life. And sometimes when you step back and look at the bigger picture, which with the assistance of psychedelics has helped me immensely, you start to see things for what they really are, which is the grand illusion, the Maya, whatever you might want to call it. It doesn't mean that nothing matters. It doesn't mean that it's nihilistic or that everything just doesn't really exist. It does exist. We are here. We are in this reality, and you're going to wake up tomorrow, hopefully, and, you know, engage the next day. So to pretend that it's otherwise is just preposterous. So we do have to agree on certain principles. We have to agree on certain ideas that matter. But at the same time, if you take that all to heart and it becomes all that matters to you, you're going to miss life. And all of us are going to go through hard times, and we're going to get frustrated, and we're going to take things really seriously. And sometimes it is time to be serious. But even with death in the family, or loss, or losing your whole home, or, you know, a wildfire that wipes through your community, you have to rebuild. You have to rebuild in here, and out there. And that's what makes us human. So that's all I've got for today. Thanks for listening. Talk to you all later. Peace.